The Stevens Summer is a series of pre-college programs offered at Stevens Institute of Technology, focusing in engineering, science, business, or the arts.
I loved my summer at Stevens. It was so much fun. I met so many great people. It was so informative about all the different kinds of engineering and all the different technical majors that you can have at Stevens.
I think participation is a lot more than just something to put on a resume. I think it gives them an opportunity to explore the different science and engineering fields, a chance to see state-of-the-art research that's being done, and it allows them to make a very informed decision about the particular area of science or engineering that they may be interested in pursuing as an undergraduate student.
This gives the student an opportunity to actually experience in 3-hour modules what it's like to be an engineer in those particular disciplines. So that's a very unique approach that Stevens takes to its summer programs.
They get to see if they have the right stuff, if they can think logically, if they can see how things work down to every single little crane, whether they're building penny boats, doing glow-in-the-dark bacteria, whether they're surveying the area. They really get to experience more in-depth of the engineering fields and see perhaps which one of them really appeals to them personally.
I learned a lot about the school within itself. I learned a lot about different types of majors, not just engineering actually, a lot of different types of majors.
My counselors and my teachers and professors that we had at the program, they were so helpful and so well qualified. I felt like I was attending a college and I was in college classes.
There's a lot of fun activities, whether it's the dodgeball showdown, movie under the stars, walking across the Brooklyn Bridge, shopping in Times Square, or exploring Central Park. It is a truly rich experience, both academically and socially.
Students are exposed to a number of the different engineering and science labs. They are exposed and have a tour of the Micro Devices Lab, which is a state-of-the-art clean room facility that we use for micro devices and nanotechnology research. There are a number of hands-on laboratories and experiments in the other science and engineering disciplines. So they really get a chance to see the different experimental facilities that our students use both in a classroom and in their research projects. Students are working in design teams and working on real engineering projects. So they're taking information that they're learning from the lecture portion of the ecos classes, and they're applying this to solve a particular problem. Things like creativity, ingenuity, critical thinking are very, very important attributes for science and engineering students, and those are things that we definitely want to expose students to through the ecos program.
There are a lot of advantages for students to be involved in the Business Intensive program. First, it offers students exposure to business education and helps them understand whether or not that's for them. They get exposed to all the major disciplines of business, and through that exposure, they learn firsthand what are the kinds of things they need to be concerned with as business students. We, as a business school, are lucky. We have an unfair advantage, I like to say, and that we are right next to Manhattan, and 81 of the Fortune 500 companies are headquartered in a 60-mile radius from Stevens, and that's more than any other university. So we are at the nexus of where business is happening, and in the Business Intensive program, we give students exposure to that. They go to the stock exchange, they meet with executives from companies, they do any number of things that give them that exposure to not just university life, but industry.
The Multimedia Intensive is essentially a jam-packed survey course. We take a semester's worth of audio production and video production and incredible amounts of work. Students are challenged from the first minute they walk in the door to the last minute when they leave. So we hire a band and we bring them in to create a music video. We rent recording facilities for Stevens Institute, and the audio team works in the recording studio with a band for a day or so, and then the video students come and shoot that as if it was a live performance video, but then bring the band back to campus and do green screen shots here in our labs in the Morton building. The audio team does a final mix, the video team does a final edit. We marry the sound to the picture and produce a music video that encompasses all the different elements of that kind of production. So on the audio production side, the students come in, they're in a world-class facility using $100,000 worth of microphones. On the video side, we use the Green Screen Lab here in Morton. We also use the MAC Lab, the Media Arts Center Lab, to do all the video production where they set up lights. They're using digital HD video cameras, high quality lights, and Final Cut Pro with the latest upgrades in software on an incredible Mac Tower computer.
Over the Stevens Summer Program, students really blossom as individuals. They grow both socially, intellectually.
There are the classroom activities, which are challenging. There is the social aspects, and I think it's a good opportunity for students to learn about themselves and what their interests are. And it's very good preparation as they get ready to make an important decision about what their future career plans will be.
I learned a lot about the school in general, and even a lot about different majors, not even just engineering, about different majors in business and art and technology, music and technology.
For many students, I think just being away from home and living on a college campus for 2 weeks gives them some idea about what college life is going to be like, just long enough, I think, to give them the experience that they need to kind of, again, refine some of their search. If we see that a student has had a summer experience, that goes a long way in helping that student through the admissions process. It identifies that student as a go-getter, someone who has taken time out of their summer when they could be doing lots of things to focus on something that has more of an academic spin to it. There's a lot about their character and how serious they are about their education. Our Summer Ecos program challenges our students to think beyond what they can imagine in engineering and science, and our business program exposes them to all the facets that a business education would have. And the multimedia program does the same through the art and music and technology programs that we offer.
The students are not only able to learn in the classroom, but take what they've been exposed to through these different projects and actually meet real-life engineers, real-life businessmen, and see what pathway they need to take in order to get these careers.
It's definitely not uncommon for me to see students who had been in the ECOS program enroll in mechanical engineering or other science and engineering disciplines at Stevens. And I think a number of them have an advantage. They're already familiar with the campus. Quite a few of the undergraduate students that do research in my lab first come in contact with me through the ECOS program.
If you're interested in any type of technology or even business field, I would definitely encourage a high school student to come to summer at Stevens, because it really makes you think about what you want to do for the rest of your life.
They really get to meet a lot of people. They get to form their lifelong friends, perhaps, and they get to be college students for 2 weeks.
Feedback that I get from the students is that the program is absolutely phenomenal. It was the best 2 weeks of their life. They want to come back and do it again next year. Some of them don't even want to leave. They really do see at the end of that program the bonds that the students have formed with each other. We try to make a microcosm, if you will, of what students would engage in, not just on a college level, but also what they would engage in the engineering, science, business, and multimedia arts fields.